been waiting for. Feel the right in a world of tide for sure. Na 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 na. Got to get that feeling.
Hello, loves. It's me, Sunshine. I have a beautiful guest named Andie O'Keeffe in here today. She is going to tell us about her beautiful journey. I'm so excited to have her on. Let's bring her on. Hey, love, what's happening?
Hello. I am so excited to be here. My face already hurts from smiling.
Yay!
Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, you are so welcome, love. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. So tell us a little bit about who you are right at this moment. Who are you, Andie?
Ooh, so right at this moment, I'm a magical
Yes,
being.
goddess. I love it.
Need that kind of energy, right? Uh,
Yeah.
so right now, I am a self-love educator at by evening and a first grade teacher during the day.
Nice.
And I am just so filled with love right now in my life and in my journey. And I am also filled with a lot of gratitude. And why I'm here today is to hopefully share my story and how I could support women in getting to this place in their own journey as well.
Yay. So tell us what your background, your journey of getting to needing to learn the self-love.
Awesome. So, looking back throughout my life, one of the things that I've always laughed at, and so many people in my life have laughed at, are like all of the phases I went through. How I looked, what I wore, who I hung out with, what I did. And when I look back on it, while it's very laughable, it was really me spending so much time trying to figure out who I was.
Yeah.
So throughout my life, I've learned so many lessons. But one that keeps coming up for me in this journey is how, if we listen to our bodies and trust ourselves, that we can learn so much. Now, I didn't know this until just a few years ago when I started really this self love journey. Um, but I've always known, because I've always been a big journaler and I've always loved to like go back and read and reflect, that there have been a lot of times in my life where I have felt lost and just felt like I didn't know my purpose necessarily, or was really in my own head thinking like, what am I supposed to be doing? Who am I? Um, and my body would always send me signals to get me to realize that, but instead of really taking the time to figure out what it was trying to tell me, my fix was always to change something in my external world.
Mhm.
So I didn't want to get to the root of things. I would switch up friend groups. I would break up with someone. I would always look outside to make the change. And then I got to my junior year in college, and my body and spirit said, enough is enough. We're going to give you the gift of a panic attack.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll learn. And now I can look back and laugh at that, and be really grateful for that. But in that time, I literally felt like my world was ending.
Yeah.
My anxiety was so severe that my panic attack felt like my throat was closing. I couldn't breathe. I spent months as a 20-year-old, like living off Ensure smoothies because I was so like afraid to eat food because I felt like my throat was collapsing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a lot. But only the closest people in my life knew I was going through that, like my few best friends that I lived with and my family. But to everybody else, I put on this front that I had, this happy-go-lucky, carefree, life of the party person. And really inside, I was crippling and crumbling.
Yeah.
Um, and it was finally like months of living like that. My first panic attack was in December of my junior year of college. And it took till I got home for summer and writing and being like, I can't do this anymore, for
Right.
me to really be like, holy shit, I need help.
Yeah.
Um, so luckily my parents were so supportive. They took me at first to go through all of like medical things to see if there was really anything wrong with my throat, because
Right.
it felt so real. And also to start therapy. And it did not click until I was ready for it to click, which is the truth that I was literally just like suffocating myself, is what it was. I wasn't expressing myself. I wasn't being my true self. And I was just shoving and cramming things down. So it felt like I was choking.
Mm-hmm.
And after so many tests, going to allergists to see if I was eating something I was allergic to, like I wanted to put this so on something else and not on myself,
Mm-hmm.
that I finally realized, like, oh shit, this is on me. Like, it's time to turn in, it's time to do the work. And I started to make a lot of realizations and connections. And I will never forget when it hit me that it was my turn to take over. And I could be in control if I wanted to. And I realized a huge connection between anxiety was like either not living in my truth or definitely rooted in drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever there was alcohol, the next day was a nightmare for me.
More panic attack.
Panic attack. Like, there were times that I'd be driving and I was like, I'm gonna die, and have to like pull over, and my dad or someone would have to come pick me up because I literally could not like get myself in control.
Yeah.
It felt like the world was ending. Um, so it took probably a year of like, it got better than when it first started, but it was no way to be living life. And I met my now husband, who was an amazing grounding partner, and he supported me when I was really in such like a low spiraling place to get therapy, and said he was going to support me through that, whatever it ended up looking like. And like, my time in therapy helped me realize so much, but one of the biggest things I worked through was this ego death of the party girl, wild child that like
Mm-hmm.
kind of used to suit me. I'm going to say kind of because while it felt right, it definitely wasn't good. um and like a few years later, I was in such a good headspace. I had so many wonderful things going for me, and all of a sudden, like, this little like missing and weird feeling of like, wait a minute, I missed that carefree part of me again. What's going on? Because I hadn't experienced it after doing so much therapy work on myself.
Right. Right.
And I think it creeped back in because it was ready for me to take the test and see if I learned the lesson. And that lesson was like, it's not just therapy, it's healing your whole self. You can't just talk. You, as a wise, beautiful mentor once said, you have to walk the walk
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And it's very much still a work in progress. But when I realized that I was connected with a woman's pleasure and empowerment coach, and
Mm.
I was like, what the hell is this? What is this world? And for the first time ever, and this was virtually, she sat me down and guided me through self love heart chakra meditation.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, let's see what this is. And I burst into hysterics. And I
Wow.
was like, how did this happen? I'm laying on a bed. This woman is in California. I'm in New York. And I am sobbing my eyes out just from what she's guiding me through.
Yeah.
And it was so eye opening, the work I started to do with her. And I just believed, like, my eyes opened to Reiki. It opened to energy healing. It opened to what self-love was. Like, I started to bring words and phrases into my vocabulary that I could not believe I didn't have my entire life. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that I was 20 something years old just defining self-worth for the first time.
Yeah.
So, I
It
mean,
took me till I was 50.
yeah, isn't it a crazy journey that
Yeah.
the most powerful and like deepest, rootest tool we have in ourselves isn't shown to us right away, like
Yeah.
isn't talked about?
Well,
Um,
because they don't know either, you know?
that's so true. It's so true.
That's why we're here now.
That, yes, you are so right. That's just a little bit of my story, and
What were the words that you were telling yourself?
a lot of the phrase that sticks with me always and creeps in whenever I'm losing sight of myself is be you. Be you. And then when I started to really get into this work, I realized like the power of affirmations and the power of just sitting and staring at yourself and saying, I am proud. I love you. I am beautiful. Like, things that I'm sure people said to me, but were not nearly enough. And it's takes such time and energy, but like life is time and energy and effort and hard work. And I realized when you want to make that change, if you're putting it into powerful things for yourself, the magic that can come is it's incredible.
Amazing. Amazing. And it's a practice, right?
It is a practice and a work in progress.
And if you start to, notice yourself thinking, like you did the other way, just know that you can start fresh at this moment and say, "No, I'm being silly. I am beautiful." Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are the things that you other things you've done to help heal this beautiful inner child of yours?
Oh, there's so much. So I've worked with a bunch of different embodiment, self-love coaches. I've learned the art of self pleasure and meditation, which is still also very much a work in progress because I've seen the benefits, but building that routine, it takes time. I have connected with incredible healers like yourself and Dawn and tapped into the world of Reiki. And I'll never forget my first Reiki session with Dawn, which who is connected us, which I'm
Right.
so grateful for. I cried my eyes out, and for the next 24 hours, literally felt like layers of shit and weight were just falling off of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, no, no way. And then I had a purple love session, and
Well, it was amazing because Dawn actually messaged me to give her Reiki, and I never met her before.
ah,
And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Would you mind coming to me?" And I was like, "Okay," thinking I'm coming to her house. And I walked in and there's this beautiful establishment, holistic establishment. And I, did my magic, my purple love on her. And she was, you know, she had that experience and she was like, "You need to offer purple love here." And I was like, "Okay." And that's how you and I met. She was telling all her clients to come see me.
how do you know it's legit?
Yeah. So fun.
It's been life changing, but I feel like every time I drop into a meditation, inner child work with you, purple love, it's like so much comes through to me, and that that didn't happen at first. Like,
Right.
it was very much a slow process, but once my spirit guides started connecting with me, they actually gave me this swift kick in the ass to now do what I'm doing, which is this self-love side hustle and spreading love.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I always say, when people say, "Well, I don't know why I didn't do it sooner," you weren't ready yet,
true.
and as you're healing, you're getting on a totally different vibration, a higher vibration. And as you raise your vibration, you start, seeing spirit and feeling spirit, and then, going deeper into your wounds and into your trauma. And that's why, it's one moment at a time, when you are ready, when you are ready. Yeah. We have Lynn. It's an amazing journey. Any age, yes. Walk the walk, live it authentically. Yeah, we are number one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's so true. It's so true. So now what's this side hustle? Tell us your self-love side hustle. I love that.
But it came to me today and it felt so right.
Uh,
So this is also such a healing journey within itself, creating this side hustle.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I guess when I started this work a few years ago, like this self-love, self-growth journey, I started to get this whisper. I'm an elementary teacher. I absolutely love what I do. I feel like working with children is one of the purest,
Yeah.
most rewarding things you can do.
Yeah.
But I started getting this whisper of like, there's something more for you. And I was always like, okay, what? And I played with so many ideas. And it was in starting my sessions with you and with Dawn that spirit started to come through and literally said, "Will you fucking pick one and just do it already? Because like we're tired of the game you're playing." And I was like, "Okay." And I decided, I was like, "You know what? This work, I wish I knew this information when I was younger." And does that mean it's going to reach everyone? No, because it has to be that divine timing, right? But if I could create a space for women to learn just some of this knowledge, give them tools and practices that have truly made me become just a grateful, loving person, I wanted to share that with people. And I hired a business coach. I took a bet on myself because I needed a little ass kicking. And I created online workshops and I started hosting them. And the feedback I was getting was amazing. But what it was doing for me as a person was selfishly the most rewarding thing ever. Um, it
It's more healing. Every time you offer, you receive.
Oh, absolutely. Like the limiting beliefs I had to break through, the people pleasing and fear of judgment I had to let go of.
Mhm.
It was so incredible. And I'm now next month, like my dream is coming true. I'm going to speak to 100 college women about self-love, and I'm offering online workshops, and it's giving me so much to be able to give to other people.
Yeah. It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
Yay! I love it, I love it, and, it's not just women that need self-love too. I know we all most of us women gravitate to other women, but, it's important to spread that love to everybody, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like to remind people and tell people like this world is full of shit and people trying to put pressures and society trying to put pressures on you to be a certain way, and it's like there's only one you.
Mhm.
Be you. It is the most magical thing you could be.
Yeah. Authentic. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unapologetically, authentically yourself. Yeah.
that is the goal.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're doing it. You're doing it, love. I love that.
Thank you.
So tell us one of your workshops. Like, what are some of the things that you suggest?
Ooh, so this upcoming, it's a 4-week program, which I'm
Okay.
excited about. My first few were just like solo, but I'm like, we could play with all of this. I've done a full workshop on like releasing limiting beliefs and looking at like the stories we tell ourselves and how so often the stories and beliefs and thoughts we have aren't even ours, but they are just gifted to us to carry, and that we really do have the power to rewrite anything that no longer serves who we are, because it blew my mind to learn that most of our beliefs are like built in and solidified by the age of like 6. And it's like this idea of, okay, if someone gives you a hand me down sweater, maybe you wear it at first because you're told to, but then do you keep it as time goes on when you outgrow it?
Right.
No, you donate it, you pass it on. It's like if a belief no longer fits us, why are we going to keep trying to base our life off of it? Like,
Yeah.
rewrite that.
Yeah. I actually, I'm injured at the moment, so I'm on a scooter. And my granddaughter FaceTimed me the other day and she said, "Sunshine, you're not supposed to be riding a bicycle in your house." And I was like, Sunshine can do whatever the heck she wants to do. If I'm
Yes.
gonna ride a bike in my house, I'm gonna ride my bike. And I'm like, what, my 4-year-old granddaughter's judging me? Like, no, there's something wrong. My son's in the background, his eyes are like, I'm like, yeah, no, Sunshine is going to be riding her bicycle. So funny. But it's true, it's passed down from generation to generation,
Mhm.
and it's important to stop that cycle.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So, like, one of my workshops is all around limiting beliefs. This upcoming one, it starts with a lot of healing and forgiveness work and simple tools that, like, we don't even think of. But when I've done, like, writing a letter to someone that you want to forgive,
Yeah.
you don't even have to give it to them, but just getting the shit out of your mind and out of your body.
And onto paper. Yes, yes, and yes. I love that.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm going to support the women that have signed up and anyone else who wants to sign up, in healing, forgiving, creating space for newness in their lives and more love and more joy. And then the next 3 workshops are all around like ways to bring gratitude in to our lives, practicing gratitude and mirror work for our bodies, showing up unapologetically, letting go of people pleasing, and really starting to create a life we desire, not based on what we've been told we need to do, but
Yeah,
when we drop into our bodies, feels really aligned and authentic for us.
that's
So
beautiful. I love that.
I'm so lit up just talking about it.
I love it. I love it. So now, how long have you been with your husband?
So we have been together. We started dating when we were 22 years old. So now I'm 30. So like 8 years, which if you would have asked me at the age of 21, I would have laughed in your face and been like, never getting married.
So he's supported you through this whole journey, healing?
Oh my gosh, he has been amazing. My parents are divorced. They got divorced when I was in 4th grade, and the trauma and shit that had in my life and that I suppressed for so long, especially about relationships, like the fact that this man stuck with me through that is incredible. But now it's like before a workshop, I get a little note just sharing how proud of
Oh,
He
I love
is.
that.
And it's amazing when you really step into yourself, how the people who love you show up for you even more.
Yeah.
I feel very lucky.
You are lucky, and he's lucky too, you
That
know?
is.
Yeah, yeah. That's beautiful, that's beautiful that he was there to nourish and support you that whole time. I love it. And now do you see a difference in him, or he's always been this earth angel?
I love it.
Uh,
Um, he has always been an earth angel in my eyes. I've like always admired him for a lot of things, and
yeah.
luckily I've learned so much and grown so much with him. Um, I do think when we start to do this work for ourselves, everybody in our life benefits.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
yeah.
100%, yeah.
And I think like after being together 8 years, just like right now when I'm in this work, I feel like I've given myself so much more permission to play and to like have fun conversations and
Yeah,
just like laugh more, you know? So it's done a lot of wonderful things for us.
beautiful. I love
Yeah.
that. And how is it affecting, your parents?
Good question. um, so they're both extremely proud of me. I think it's different the way sometimes it affects masculine versus feminine,
Mhm.
everything in between.
Yeah.
Uh, so like it's funny because I'll realize something and I'll learn something and I'll go like share it with my dad, who is my best friend, and he's like, "I've been telling you that for years."
Ah!
I'm like, I had to learn it myself though.
Uh,
So he's been wonderful, and I've brought my mom along on this journey, and she's actually attended my workshops. And just having her in that space, I feel like it's done a lot for our relationship. I feel like mother and daughters sometimes we've
yeah.
had a rocky road,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
um when I tell you she is my biggest fan and just goes on to say like how she believes I'm going to change the world, it's great. I couldn't do it without either of them, and it's
That's
get
a
me wrong, it's brought up a lot of shit that I've had to
Oh,
work
yeah,
on,
it's got to. It's
and
got to.
it's pushed me to have like a lot of conversations and a lot that I still need to have, and
Yeah.
boundaries that I need to now work on building, but it's all for great things, and just two other people that continue to support me even through like the difficult stuff, you know?
Mhm. And being vulnerable is key. What is that? How did that make you feel, love? The word vulnerable, how did that make you feel? Tell me.
Vulnerable is so sticky. And that's another word, honestly, like vulnerability, that I felt like I didn't hear until my like mid 20s. And I'm like, how? How? But it showed up when I needed to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it has taught me so much about myself. It has allowed me to open up and get honest with myself and people. And even though I'm sitting here saying this, doesn't mean that I haven't held back, because I have, but it's allowing me to continue to grow, and it's allowing me to give myself permission to all of the sides that I didn't want to see for so long. You know, there's so many things that we're ashamed of, and so many things that we can't believe we done and don't want to speak out loud. And through this work, I've shared those things with not just people that are close to me, but people who are showing up in programs and have like similar paths and journeys and want to do this work. And it's so freeing to give yourself the permission to be vulnerable. It's
Mm,
life changing.
yeah. It sets you free. It sets you free.
You're no longer carrying the weight of whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then you set it free, and all of a sudden you realize that everyone's different and has different stories, but at the same time they're so similar and have their
Yeah.
stuff too. And that's just even more comforting.
Everybody has a trauma. Everybody is struggling in their own way, and when you step back and just observe what's going on, yeah, it's very powerful and
Mhm.
necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine the world if we could all be vulnerable and real.
We will be, because you're gonna set this world on fire, right?
That's the plan. That's
Ah!
what's happening.
And you're gonna see me in my sunshine bus tagging along.
Oh, I will be riding in your bus. Are you kidding?
Yes, I love it, I love it. So fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we healing ourselves, right? And then helping other people just by being ourselves. You're
Yeah.
helping other people to say, "Oh my god, I wanna be myself," you know?
Yeah. I heard this analogy, which we've all probably heard if you've ever been on an airplane, of when the oxygen mask drops.
Yeah, I say it all the time.
Yeah.
Tell us, yeah.
Like, put it on yourself first, because otherwise, what's going to happen if you go to put it on somebody else? And I feel like that's this work. That's the healing and taking care of ourselves and showing up as number one. Like,
Yep,
if we
yeah,
don't take care of ourselves, we cannot help the other people.
that's right. We gotta fill ourselves up with love and
Yeah,
let it overflow to everybody else.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that I have women in my life like you that show
Aw.
that that's possible, you know?
Thank you, love, and I am honored and grateful that you are in my life too. I remember our first session and I think it was afterwards that I told you what I do, was it? With the self-love.
Yes, it was
And you
after.
were like, "Wait a minute, that's what I'm doing." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah. All I heard was there's a woman named Sunshine. She's a goddess and has something called purple love. And I was like, in. Everything else came afterward.
But we were aligned to meet, we were aligned because you have this mission and I'm already doing what I'm doing, and it's such a beautiful thing to support each other and show each other that there's so many of us that are out here that want to do this and we could all do it. And when we all do it, that's when the world is going to be so magical, right?
Absolutely. Creating a better and brighter future.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. So when's your next workshop?
So, my 4-week program, which I'm also listening to the people, it could also be just an individual class if you prefer it, actually starts this Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that little Tuesday night magic. And that will be
Yeah.
uh, for 4 weeks. We'll meet on Tuesdays.
And it's for how long?
So
Is it an hour, 2 hour?
it's an hour and a half. So
Okay.
it's 7 to 8:30. It's March 28th, April 4th. Then there's a week off because I'm gonna go speak at a college, and then April 18th and 25th are the next 4 workshops I'm offering, unless something magically comes to me and I have to offer something else.
Ah, and it will, because you put it out to the universe. Ask, believe, and receive, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
And it's on your website. Oh no, you on your Instagram.
Yeah, so on my Instagram, I have a link tree link in my bio. So
Okay.
in that link, if you click on it, there's an option to purchase all 4 of the classes as like a program. Or if it doesn't work for your schedule or you want to just dip your toe in this journey, whatever feels right for you, there's links to individual classes. And every class, there's a lot of information about kind of what we're going to look at and what little transformations will happen, hopefully, along the way.
I love it. And it's not expensive, right?
No, the 4 classes are $88 in total, or if you do an individual class, it's $25.
I
So
think that's beautiful. That's
thank you.
beautiful. And it's, helping people, you know
That's the goal.
yeah, that's it. That's it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Love that. I didn't know you had a link tree. Otherwise, it would be scrolling.
I'm just impressed I'm scrolling here.
Have you done a podcast before, love?
I did a brief little like few-minute interview. Um,
Okay.
but no, this is my podcast. First time. Big for me.
So fun.
Yeah. And it's perfect that it's with you.
Aw, you're so sweet. I'll pay you later, love.
Thank you.
For all the compliments, I'll pay you later.
That's why I'm really here, people. No.
So much love, so much love. So what else you have going on? What do you see yourself doing besides speaking in front of 100 college women?
I mean, I would love to one day write a curriculum where this
Okay.
teach in schools because at the end of the day, I understand that things like earth science and history are important. I'm not knocking it, but
'Cause you're a teacher.
right,
Right.
because I'm a teacher, but if you could teach someone that everything they need they have within, like let's bring that to schools. Let's teach people how to stop comparing, how to celebrate themselves, how to just fall madly deeply in love with themselves and think about the ripple effect that that would have,
Yeah.
you
And
know?
now are you allowed to say those magical words to these children that you teach?
Oh, I fill them up every single day.
Good.
Whenever and sometimes I'm like, "Are they too young to wrap their heads around?"
No,
I'm
that
like,
this is the perfect age. We
"Yeah,
were born love. We
yeah,
were born complete love, and this is the time that we need to show them that we are love. You
yeah."
know,
So
the
that's what I
younger
do.
the better. The younger the better.
It's as soon as someone makes a mistake and they're hard on themselves, I'm like, "No, no, no, no. Here are 5 things you're gonna say about yourself. I am strong, I am brave, I am confident, I can do this. Like I care, of course, about how they do in school, but if I could help them, my students, love who they are and realize that happiness comes from within, that's it.
That's your
I'll
goal.
retire on that one
I
because
love it. I love
yeah.
it. Ah, and it's our they're our future. They're our future. How old are you said first grade you teach?
Yeah, so they're 6 and 7, and
Aw.
I try to plant all the little self-love seeds I can, and I also try to get them to understand, like, the beautiful mess of what humans are. Like, the way they communicate with each other, how to problem solve. It's just little life skills that hopefully stick.
Yeah. And what about, I had a question, but I forgot.
No, it wasn't meant to be.
Well, I think that's beautiful, making a curriculum like that. Oh, do the parents notice? Like, what do the parents say on teacher student night, whatever? I haven't done this in years, so I don't even know what they call it anymore.
So, um, I have parents. One of the greatest compliments I get is that their kids love to come to school every day. And I feel like that's because I'm creating an environment where it's okay for them to be themselves, to make mistakes, to stay curious and just enjoy life.
Yeah.
I do have parents. I set my kids up for little challenges all the time. I'm like, all right, you have to go home and write a note of gratitude for someone in your house and hide it somewhere in their house. And
Oh,
the
I
parents,
love that.
Yeah, teaching them little things that hopefully they do for themselves one day, you know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'll have parents comment on stuff like that, which is really nice.
Do you have them write a note to themselves?
Oh yeah, they have Post-it notes, like, with little affirmation we have a daily affirmation that changes
Oh, I
every
love
week,
that.
and they'll write them for themselves and, like, put them in their supply boxes, so when it opens, it says, like, "I am beautiful," or "I am smart." Um, we just did a wonderful little activity where we talked about our bodies and how amazing they are and how they allow us to do so much, because I
Yeah,
feel body appreciation and body image stuff can weigh so
oh
heavy.
my goodness, yeah.
So just getting them to start to build gratitude for their beautiful minds and everything that they're able to do with their bodies. That was a proud moment of mine.
Yeah, yeah, and, you don't realize how much our body does for us. We breathe on our own, we pump
Mhm.
blood, this is a miracle, and I understand the body shaming. I was 100 pounds overweight. Um, my mother used to beat me up to put me on the scale if I was, a pound overweight. And so yeah, that's huge. I am so impressed with you and so honored to be featuring you
Oh, thank
on this because this is magic, love. This is magic, you know. And I want you to write that. You're going to write that curriculum. This is it. You're doing it.
I am.
You're doing it. I love it. I am doing it. Yes. And it's so needed. It's so needed.
Yeah. I look back and know that I wish I had this earlier. And
But
if
what
th-
did I say before?
I
You
know,
weren't
I know.
ready yet. You
If we
weren't ready yet. And
Right.
look, like I said, I was 50, when I realized I had to save myself. I had to show myself love, and some people don't even get to realize it. They live this life, miserable, and they die miserable. So thank you for showing me at whatever age that I took my control back. I took my power back at any age. Don't wish anything away.
Thank you. I needed that
Do
reminder.
it. Yeah. I love it. So beautiful.
My heart is so full.
You what?
My heart is so full.
Yay! I love it. Yeah, so I believe you're gonna do it, love. I see it. I see it.
Thank you.
Such a beautiful thing. And start writing it. You're already doing it for adults, right?
I think that's what these workshops secretly are
Yeah.
all classes that I would create into one.
Yeah. Yeah. And start writing it and start putting it down and, yeah, this is huge. This is huge. I love it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you offer meditations and stuff too at the schools?
So I have a few different like mindfulness things that I do with my students. We'll make like glitter jars. We do a bunch of breathing exercises.
Okay.
I'm trying to teach them now the power of taking a breath,
Okay.
because in my days of panic, if only I knew how powerful
Yeah.
taking a breath could be.
Yeah. And
So
holding themselves,
yeah,
comforting themselves is so powerful.
also like so it's exciting. My district does this wonderful thing called STEAM Night, which is bringing like science, technology, engineering, art, and music all together, and they allow teachers to teach a workshop to families. So my workshop is going to be mindfulness and joy in your life. So getting
Yes.
my hands into the families now.
Yes. Because it's gonna ripple to the parents. It's gonna ripple to the parents. Mary just wrote something. Yes, taking care
Uh,
of yourself now. That's the word.
yeah.
Now. Mary, she's a
Thank
good
you.
grasshopper. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's so true. It's all about now because 5 minutes ago doesn't exist, right?
A wise woman taught me that.
Ah! So fun. So what are you gonna do with the that night, the mindfulness night?
So I'm going to have them create like a glitter calming jar. And I brought like all fabulous inner child colors and gems and things to put in it. So I'm going to talk about like the power of if we're feeling any sort of emotion that feels overwhelming, how we can use this jar as a tool to just like ground ourselves and focus in on the now, right? I feel like so often we can get out of our heads, overthinking and almost spiral. So bringing
Mhm.
ourselves to like that present
Yep.
moment
Yep.
and naming what you're seeing in that jar is really powerful. And I also want to help families create what's called like a joy menu or a pleasure menu
I
of
love it.
yeah, of little things that they can do of like if anyone in their family is having a hard time, like they can go to their section of the menu and pick something that's going to either realign them, get them out of that headspace that they might be in, and just fill their day with a little more joy because that's what everybody needs.
We need joy all the time.
Yeah. We deserve joy all the time.
Yeah. It's so necessary to do what brings us joy, right?
Yeah.
It's so necessary. It brings us to that state of joy. I actually received a message yesterday from somebody and said, you need to tell your truth. You're not always this happy. And I just started laughing, like, you're judging me because I'm happy? Like, do you know the shit I went through to be this happy? But I sent him actually my self-love video.
Love
And I just said, here you go, love.
that. When you're ready.
This is, yeah, I'm here when you're ready. But
And
it's necessary to be joyful.
yeah. And to see what we can learn from those people that exhibit that, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
fill our lives with people that expand us, not people that make us contract.
yeah. And just living who you are
Mhm.
authentically, knowing, like you said in the beginning, it is us. It's in here, everything.
Yeah, that's what everyone needs to know.
Yeah, it's
You don't need
all
it from
inside of
anywhere.
us.
It's us.
Yeah. Our inner light, our inner light. Michael just simple wisdom. You are your own ultimate truth. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. We are the ones that we've been looking for.
Isn't that crazy?
We have all these lifetimes we've been looking for outside of ourselves. And it's right here.
Right?
It's right.
Putting our worth and value into external things
Yeah.
when all you got to do is look in the mirror and remind yourself how amazing you truly are.
Yeah. And look inside. Look inside.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Well, I thank you so much, love, for coming on. And I am, woo, chills, baby. I cannot wait to see it. If you need me to design a cover for you, I'll be right there with it. I'll
That I
pull
will
up
take you
my
up on.
bust.
We're on the bus. We're painting together. Everything's going to be great.
So much fun.
Thank you. I am just so grateful for this opportunity, for you, for community, and the ripple effect. You've changed my life.
Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. Is there anything that you want to say out loud that you haven't said already?
Just to be you, because who you are is fucking perfect.
Perfect. Just the way you are.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. Yay.
And anyone who tells you otherwise doesn't deserve to be in your energy anyway.
That's right.
Yeah.
Turn that mirror around because they're talking about themselves, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a big thing that I had to learn, was that when they're judging you, they're really judging themselves. You know, their words are actually what they feel about themselves.
We are all a bunch of mirrors.
Yep.
Why that is.
So crazy. All right, so I'm going to put you in the back. All right, stay with me. Stay with me. I am honored. I am so grateful for you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
I love you. Thank you.
Yay! So much love. I am so proud of her. She is amazing. She's going to be changing the world, changing lives. I love it. I love it. I love it. May we all be happy, healthy, wealthy, and free.
This is the moment we've been waiting for.